Confessions of an SEO. This is Carolyn Holzman. A lot of SEO podcasts are trying to help you get a leg up on the tactics of SEO. But here, it's about how to relate to people to SEO and as practical humans to get our heads out of the Google Webmaster Guidelines, stop seeing Google as the Wizard of Oz, and where we can have fun picturing Google in its underwear. If you're an SEO, I get you. If you're a business owner, I also get you. Before I was an SEO, I was a local business owner trying to get more business. I hope these episodes help you understand how to hold an SEO accountable, how to have a better idea of what's in their control and what's in Google, so you're not blaming your SEO for something that Google was completely responsible for. So welcome to Season 2, Episode 13. Today, I want to share some new insights from the Index Research Project and a confession on my mesothelioma project. This may be one of those episodes where, and I'll be frank, this may be better for me than it'll be for you. But if we're not careful, I may go into my beam me up Scotty riff. Why? I got involved in a few more projects over these past few weeks, which is great. I'm not complaining about the projects. But where the projects are right now, the part that would bring me closer to that hit of dopamine, that every SEO aims for, when they do something and they see a result. Every day it seems to get pushed further and further back in the calendar. It's definitely the vegetable part of client SEO, the business part. Okay, I know. I truly trust that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. But I think if I hear the word process one more time this week, I will become undone and spontaneously combust. I'm sure there are other people out there who can relate to that. Don't judge me. I really want to spend my days with my arms way up into some site that I know once it gets recrawled, good things will happen. Or run a core report for a site that may have dropped more than I expected, see what changed, adjust it, resubmit through Search Console, and then go grab a cup of coffee on my yacht. Okay. It's not that I don't understand the need for process. I do. I just wish somehow they could fall from the sky like fragrant little rose petals and form themselves, so all I have to do is copy them and follow them. It's the creation of them that is excruciatingly painful to me. Okay, seriously, I know myself well, and I can tell that I'm going to need to schedule some breaks in these projects where I can focus on my mesothelioma case study, which is on my desk. And, it has really broken up my progress on this thing. And I know it's silly, right? But it's really important to me. So I have some sites that I own, and I haven't pushed those yet. And so I think that what I need to do is I just need to, much like I plan ahead with snacks, because I know my blood sugar drops when I haven't eaten on a regular schedule. So this is like my SEO blood sugar. It's dropping more and more every day, and I just need to take care of that. I can do this. Okay, I bring news from the Index Research Project. Did you know that when Google updates the coverage of sites in Search Console, they're updating all of us at the same time? Okay, just so we're clear, that's every single website that is connected into Google's Search Console tool. No pressure, right? This is the part, like if you're logged into Search Console, it's there's on the left-hand side an index tab, and underneath there is a section called coverage. And when you click on that, on the upper right-hand side of your news screen, Google tells you what the current, how current the data is that you're seeing. It gives you a date. Now, so far, I haven't met anybody who knew that before this week when I just happened to see it in the daily log for the project. And I'm happy. If anybody wants to get viewer access to the entire Google Doc, message me through Facebook on the American Way Media page, or send an email to confessions@americanwaymedia.com with your Gmail email. That's the only emails I can add. And I started a while back adding colors and doing what really helps. If you're not going to run correlation formulas, why not color with crayons? So I filed that under things I learned in 2020. Okay, so now the indexation piece that's really steaming along. I have more bandwidth to look at other things like how often does Google update the coverage? And when do they do this? And how many days happen between these updates, or how frequently do they occur? How big is their data basket? Is it a week, a month, 2 months? These questions I now have answers to. And it started recently, but when Google updates coverage, they do it in 3-day increments. Like Google Analytics, Google doesn't provide up-to-date data in your Search Console. What you are always seeing is a few days behind. In Analytics, it's typically 2 days, and in Search Console, it's 3 days. So why does this matter? Why should you waste any brain cells on this? Well, watching the bot behavior, if we suspect that there is an internal unfiltered index of everything, and Google unburdens itself of its process backload and pushes all that new content and rescored content from the internal index, or it's often called the supplemental index, it pushes out from the supplemental to the primary index. Now, the primary index is the one that you and I see, the one where Google filters out things so that, for instance, only 2 URLs from the same domain are visible, in the primary index. Now, there may be a whole lot more on that site that could qualify, but Google only permits 2 from the same domain. And the entire, otherwise, the entire first page of many searches could just be Amazon results pages. So I'm focusing on the nexus of where these things go into the index from Google. So they flow from Google to the primary. And in some ways, I see it as the same intersection where the bots bring Google what they get from our sites. How much sense does it make for Google to, at the same time of pushing out new content and rescored existing content, to also be spidering and crawling more new content that has to be processed on the other side? So what if that door swings either way, but whichever way it's flowing, it's a one-way street in both cases? That's kind of what I'm seeing. When we have medium to high volatility in the SERPs and low bot activity, they could be the same sides of the coin. Now, if you've listened, you know that I use the SEMrush sensor weather tool as sort of like measuring volatility in the search. Now, when there's low volatility and high bot activity, they too could be different sides of another coin. It's kind of like how I wish laundry worked, that at some point, everything we own is clean, folded, and put away, or we're wearing it. So there's a brief time when there is nothing in the basket. Now, we've been saying for a long time that Google is a machine. It doesn't read like you and I do. It has to have a way to pull in new content, or it's not a search engine anymore. It makes money off paid search to the tune of over $200 billion in revenue. Now, that's the entirety of Google. But the paid search section is over 50% of that. And it's kind of like the football team at a university that it pays for all the other sports that don't generate revenue. So whatever it does has to be programmed. And it has to have resources like electricity, server space, computational power. And in order to do that, it will leave traces. People like to talk about Google as if it's some space age technology, that we're too dumb to comprehend its almighty power. What if Google puts its pants on just like us? It's a business, it has products and services, and it teases many with the, quote, let us teach you how to do your paid ads, but has zero incentive to reveal all you can do because they make more money whether you goof things up or whether you're just average at doing it. I noticed that every search engine bot is an unsecured URL. Like if you look for it in your server logs, you'll see it's HTTP, not HTTPS, google.com/bot.html. It's all HTTP. Now, what could explain that in 2022? I've asked around, and the best answer came from Ted Kubitis, who described it as, I love the way he describes things, it's a vestigial tale from the pre-SSL days. There was a time where all of us were HTTP. And when you look at server logs, you see how they grow over time. They get big, fast. So like if you have a single site server log, it will still grow. When you have multiple site server logs, and that happens in shared hosting all the time, remember, each character takes up space. So at scale, one character less per server record actually makes a difference in server logs. So getting back to the passage direction, this vector between where we are and where Google is. The more we understand how Google works, the more we understand it as a machine, the better we can get at noticing what is an actual update and what may be our competitors out SEOing us or Google shifting the weight of some small things. The less primitive we as SEOs become at deciphering the Google-ness of things, we can better serve our clients and ourselves and be the Sherpa that our clients need us to be. And we're going to spend less time claiming that Google has somehow singled us out and punished us. And honestly, we use language that sounds just like ancient Greeks who used mythology to explain lightning as the weapon of Zeus. So for the time being, I'm reporting every day on YouTube the daily nature of the server logs and what they might reveal as to what direction on that day the door appears to be open to. Now you can check out Crawl or No Crawl. It's on YouTube, and I really want to name the channel. And apparently I can only do that when I have 100 subscribers. So if you can help me out, I really would appreciate it. And that's a way you could show, at least some sign that you appreciate all of this, because it's a daily thing. It's exciting. I would do it anyway, but your little bit of support is actually very motivating. And I also predict that the next update to the Search Console coverage is going to be tomorrow. And when it does update tomorrow, that's going to be on Saturday. When it does update, the date it will show will be March 30th. This is fun. Okay, well, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for being a listener, and special thank you to the sponsors of Confessions. It means a lot. Thank you. If you like this kind of content and you want to encourage me further, you can become a supporter or sponsor for less than the cost of a tall cappuccino with an extra shot. I'm working also on my first Confessions with a Buddy. It's not an interview, but it's going to be like a cook show where we take something out and show you something through your ears. Now, there's something big on the immediate horizon for small but I think, unfortunate group of website owners. And we really need to get the word out. So that's what this is about. Please subscribe to Confessions wherever you're listening to it. It's on Audible, Spotify, Amazon Alexa, and you can Google Confessions of an SEO. You can't miss it. I think I'm now at a page and a half of search results. All right. All of us stand to make more business and success together when SEOs and business owners understand each other and Google better. It's been my pleasure to be your host. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the service.